Edwin A. Bemis was one of the most influential citizens of Littleton during the 20th century. In 1919, he purchased the Littleton Independent newspaper and was its publisher until he retired 47 years later. Throughout his life, Mr. Bemis was a dedicated civic volunteer, offering his talents to a number of causes. The Bemis House was the home for the Bemis family from 1921 until Edwin passed away in 1978. At Mr. Bemis's request, the home was deeded to the city after his death. In 2005, the house was designated an historic landmark, and in 2006 it became the new home of Western Welcome Week. The City of Littleton received a grant to renovate the Bemis House in 2008.
The city received a grant from the State Historic Fund for the Bemis House restoration project. The project total is close to $300,000, and the grant covered approximately 2/3 of that cost. So it covered the structural stabilization that was done in the crawl space. It also covered the abatement of the asbestos siding. Initially, when we removed the asbestos siding, we weren't sure what kind of condition the original siding would be in. So part of the grant, we looked at possibly having to mill new siding to match the original. When the asbestos siding was pulled off, we realized that the original siding was in pretty good shape, so we were able to restore that siding and bring it back to its original condition. We were able to send the oldest layer of paint off for analysis, and the colors you see here are as close to the original colors as we could get. The other thing that we did was we did window and door restoration. There are several windows and doors in the house that are leaded glass. They had been damaged throughout the years. We were able to replace and restore the missing pieces of glass and also restore the original framing on the windows and the doors. We removed the existing asphalt shingles and replaced them with cedar shingles, which were on the house originally when the house was built in the early 1900s.
Western Welcome Week, which celebrates community, is a nonprofit 501c3. We're thrilled to be here at the Bemis House. It gives us a home. Western Welcome Week moved into the Bemis House in February of 2006. We worked very closely with South Suburban Parks and Recreation to work on the landscaping of the actual yard, which had never really been maintained. We actually have an annual cleanup day that is coordinated with South Suburban, where we come in and we have anywhere from 40 to 50 volunteers that work on the cleanup of the yard. We were able to get the irrigation, the labor, and a lot of the sod donated by local companies, so it didn't cost the City of Littleton or South Suburban really any money to get the landscaping done here at the Bemis House. South Suburban does maintain it for us year-round, and they do a wonderful job for us, so they maintain it and make it very beautiful. The Bemis House is definitely a community project with South Suburban Parks and Recreation, the City of Littleton, Western Welcome Week, lots and lots of volunteers, and also the donations from individuals and corporations around the area. Certainly with the recent historic restoration of the painting, the siding, and the roofing of the building, it's certainly made an impact on the neighborhood. It certainly makes this corner look a lot better than it did from previous years.
The city would just like to extend its thanks to our partners in this project, the State Historic Fund, the architects on the project, Andrews and Anderson, and White Construction, who was the contractor on the project.